It's so good to be back after such a break. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be here with everybody. Eva, do you have announcements that you need to make?
Not at this point. Not at this particular moment. You can take it away. Aside from just, we're happy to be here.
Yes, I'm gonna say a little bit about the game for those who haven't seen us before. We'll have a chance to go around and say our names and who we're playing, and then also to talk about the incentives, which you wrote down and I didn't, so you get to say what those are. So we are here playing Brindlewood Bay with a slight Monster Hearts crossover, question mark. I pulled the wool over my players' eyes last time, and they didn't know that a former Monster Hearts character was coming back, and that character has indeed come back. Sadly, as an NPC right now, because the player can't make it, but we will go on. The show is going to go on because the game is afoot. Really quick recap, and then the rest of you will fill in details. The group arrived to Camp Warp and Weft for MurderCon, which I believe I made a commitment to always say that way.
Yes.
So, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Which is now being run by a corporate entity called Encore. That's what I called it, right? Encore. Concord. Encore is the actual word.
Concord is what I have in my notes too.
Concord. And immediately discovered that things were a little bit different than they have been before. Lots of like little youngsters scurrying around, going to listen to their podcasters. Big famous podcaster who has taken over the head spot from their favorite author who they usually come to see. And during the convocation, as this podcaster was coming out, and right after the company awarded a huge grant to improve the grounds of Camp Warp and Weft, one of the group's number died under mysterious circumstances.
Normal.
So, okay, let's go around and say your name and who you're playing, and then one thing or a few that you remember from last session that either you think is important for your character or might be a clue. And I will be poker faced.
All right, I'll go first. Hi. Hi, I'm Ray. I'm playing Hazel Briggs. And I remember from last game, Hazel was, this is our first game, so our first session. So one thing that was notable for me was that Sylvie and I got along very well, which was very fun. We bonded over our mutual love of certain recreational activities. Sylvie tried to hook me up with a friend of hers that she's meeting at camp, which I don't entirely remember how that went, so maybe Sylvie can fill it in. I remember it was kind of embarrassing for Hazel, and I ended up with the condition thirsty.
Right.
Hazel is here for her self-discovery moment. She is a very outgoing person who's trying to just like do the most all the time. Not always successful in doing so, but she's trying her absolute best. And she was, I remember when we had that, when our friend died at the big show, my character was more into it than everybody else. My character's trying to kind of walk that line between our group of more, less into all the podcasting and more modern nonsense and the newer crowd. So my character was very, very oblivious until all of a sudden she just dropped dead, which was very shocking and terrifying. But yeah, that's Hazel, and yeah.
All right. Next.
I'll go, since we were talking about me. My name is Valdrina the Roserade. I bring Sylvie Ducote. She is a former paleo artist, professor, and she, so as far as what I remember last time was we were able to get into the VIP room. So that was neat. Hazel got paint on my car seat. Like tie-dye paint. It's okay. When I find it, you'll pay for it. It's fine.
That's fair.
And
it's valid.
like she was saying, also, I got to do an occult move because the youngins were trying to like make us out to be Karens because we could cut the line, but we had the right to cut the line because we have VIP status. We've been coming for a while. And so I had my cat hack the internet. And now any negative things posted about us automatically become positive things. So that's what I remember. And then someone died next to me. Like, it's not the first time, oddly enough.
Ooh. I might even have notes on that. Next.
I'll go next because that kind of leads into a big thing that happened for me. So I'm Evie, she, her. I play Rose, also she, her. Rose is a farmer who feeds people to show that she loves them and cares about them and all that jazz, and is sort of a little bit of a busybody. And that is why we ended up in a problem, because Rose was the one that showed up. Her granddaughter Sierra was the unfortunate anxiety recipient of Rose being like, no, just drive around the line of cars and drive us up to the ticket booth. I'm going to get out and I'm going to walk past everybody and just go straight to the window. And it wasn't so much that she was being like an entitled Karen. Exactly. She had brought a bunch of fresh produce and fresh stuff that was about to spoil. She could not wait another 2 hours before she got in here and got access. So different form of like entitled, I'm important.
You had volunteer entitlement.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was an important big moment that Rose did, and in doing so she kind of got herself tangled up in finding out that there's a lot of nonsense happening in the kitchen situation, because with the new murder con situation, they have tried to bring in like a big catering company instead of the normal people who work there. And so she got her hands on the handbook about that and found out that there are some very weird kitchen rules now, such as to leave an offering portion out for like the higher ups or the owners or whoever it was, even if they're not there, like you still leave it out. And that it was a lot of emphasis on hierarchy and stuff. And that was just really strange. And then, yeah, the whole thing with Nimbus came out. Rose disliked it. And then her friend died and she freaked out and was like, no, don't be dead. But that was futile.
A good effort, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good
Love
effort.
to see it.
It would have been weird if your friend died and you were just like,
Everybody just sat there and was like,
yeah, I guess that.
It would have been
I
cool
guess
if you'd
that's
been
the thing.
like, cut that shit out. Stop. And then she'd be like, okay.
And then
no.
she's like,
Just kidding.
set up. She's like, sorry, my bad.
just like smacked her, get up, knock that off.
This isn't funny
That's a
anymore.
little too aggressive for Rose.
Yeah.
Very good. I'm Pablo. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Ladi, whose pronouns are she or he. I don't remember a whole lot, I'm going to be honest with you, of sort of discrete memories of the session. I remember a lot of vibes were fantastic.
Vibes are
weird,
important. Vibes
Yeah.
are important. Vibes matter.
But I remember that a lady was trying to impress Hazel by already wearing the group tie-dye t-shirts
And impress you did.
when she had arrived at the shindig.
Didn't you have a tagline? It was Murder Mavens, but there was a tagline.
It
on
was,
those
we didn't
t-shirts.
do it, but we know who did.
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
I think that leaves me. Hi, I'm Eva, she, her, and I am playing Gwen Ahearn today, who uses she, they. Gwen has already sort of had a little whirlwind time of it, mostly on account of the murder. Her favorite things are reading fan fiction, because it turns out that you can just sort of, there's just so much more of your favorite worlds to explore. Sometimes it's terrible, sometimes it's very unexpectedly steamy, and certainly probably not what the canon characters might have done. However, it's not going to stop her from reading it. And she's not quite as tech savvy as some of the other mavens, but she appreciates things that the internet can do. She's trying, sort of, with help. I think she's not too upset to be staying off-site tonight or last night. I don't know where we are. I apologize for any fireworks in the background. I promise that's what they are, if anyone can hear those. All things
I feel like the world knows that it's 4th of July weekend in the United States,
Yeah.
and therefore everything's
Excuse me,
going
it was Canada Day yesterday. I don't
I know. I'm not saying it's more important. I'm just saying that we are friggin' loud.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
We didn't have fireworks, they were banned. We have a fire ban right now.
oh,
Many dogs appreciate that. Sorry. please continue.
Gwen's. Oh no, I was just thinking Gwen's probably most important at the moment. Trait feature life event is being friends with Robin. Well, friends with Robin Masterson, everyone's favorite
Right.
mystery author,
Who has not made an appearance yet?
who has not.
Used to be the featured speaker in the convocation and is not today.
Very sus, as the kids say.
Very sus. I will, before we actually jump into the action, we did have an extra success on an occult move. So we had a hit, which means that we can write this as a move that we can always use. So let's do that, and then we'll review incentives, and then we can get started. So success on occult move. That means we need to figure out what happens on a hit, what happens on 7 to 9 if that's Mark the Crown of the Void or something else, and then on a miss, what happens, right? So it's get the internet. Are the limits of it control what the internet is saying about you, or like what are the boundaries of this occult move? And it's the whole group can decide because it's a move open to the whole group.
I mean, does anyone have any strong feelings one way or the other?
I did the success on this, so I want other people to like. Yeah.
I like the idea that it only affects us, right? Like there's sort of a this was cast with us in mind. Oh, also we just got rated by 18 people.
Hello, Lost Caravan. What's up, friends?
We're learning how to be in control of our internet PR. Sadly, only in game. All right, control what control what the internet says either about you or in direct relationship to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Says about or in relation to you. Okay. On a 7 to 9, do we want to say Crown of the Void? You mark the Crown of the Void, which, if you recall, like brings you closer and closer to retiring your character one way or the other, but also is kind of fun and cool stuff happens. Or do we want to have a different sort of like mid-range success condition? Like,
Yeah, Crown of the Void feels a little bit punishy-ish, so
Yeah.
maybe that's on a fail.
okay, we can do that on a miss. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
I'm wondering if like a miss is something like you can change almost everything, but like I either decide which post goes viral, and how people interpret it, which won't always be like nothing that goes viral is going to be like unequivocally positive to everybody who is like, right? And rarely do things go viral just because everybody likes them so much. It happens, but rarely. So I think that's like one of the things you do goes viral, and I can control like what that means it does.
I like that.
I like it.
Does that
That's
sound
good.
fair? Okay.
Is that
Yeah,
7
good.
to 9?
7 to 9. Yeah. So you do what you want to do, but then there's like an unintended side effect, which
I
is
like
that something
that.
gets eyes on it that you didn't think were going to get that many eyes on it.
That's good.
Okay.
What is she wearing?
Right. something like that. Something like that. And then people start doing like the tie-dye challenge or whatever it is.
Sylvie's
Hazel would
Steg-
love that.
Sylvie's Stegosaurus purse becomes like the new thing, and people stop her on the street about it.
Oh my god.
Yes, or everybody like starts dressing up in dinosaur costumes and like pretending to be old ladies with purses. I don't know. Like there's all sorts of options, from the horrifying to the hilarious, and sometimes both. So I love that. Okay, so that's our new move, and I see wonderful note takers writing that down who probably have better handwriting or typing than I do. So good, it's written in here. And that brings me then, before we get started with the action, to incentives, which Eva, I think you have for us. Yes? Yay. Okay.
I do. And thanks to Mare, I even got the charity bar up at the bottom of the screen so you can see where we are in our progress. Incentives for Brindlewood Bay include $5 donation. You can choose a player to add a +1 to their roll. $10 gives them an advantage, so a reroll. Not a guaranteed success, but another chance at one. $30, all players get a +1. Each player, I should say. $40, each player gets an advantage, and I believe, I don't know how many times you were going to allow this, but $100 was a gold crown move choice.
Gold crown move, yeah. So you get an extra option. You know what? Maybe we give the choice, and let me know. Like, one option for that level is an extra gold crown mysteries move, which for those who don't know is basically an auto success on something. And what you do is you say, I remember when this happened in gold crown mysteries, blah, 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 blah. The other option is that we pause and we get to make up another occult move. So like an entirely new move gets introduced into the game as a result of the donation. That would be the other possibility.
An occult
Thoughts?
move sort of themed from the audience to us?
That would be great if the audience wanted to do it, but if the audience isn't saying anything, we can just come up with it, and it's fine.
Okay,
I'm not
that'd
gonna
be
say
fun.
no to that.
Yeah.
The way the system is set up, it's just as good for the GM as it is for the players if a new move is added, because then I get to do fun mess with y'all stuff. All right, so there is a pause amongst the audience. You are in this outdoor arena with a raised wooden platform in front of you, and lights, colored lights have been shining, like the main lights dimmed, and a bunch of by the way, my aphasia is really bad today, so stick with me. Light beams that are beams of light that have colors, whatever that is, are like going all over the auditorium and lighting up people's faces and the colors of their clothing. And you have the NIMBY section, which are the Nimbus fans, all cheering. And as Nimbus, the famous, popular, kind of problematic murder mystery podcaster is walking up to the stage, and Maddie is falling over and breathing her last breath. And there is a moment where it's almost like everyone else's breaths are held. And in the background, what no one sees, is a statue that had been in the rec room and wound up somewhere around the arena, disappears, and in its place, a person is standing and watching from a distance, taking something in. Something is happening in this area, in this land, that none of you are aware of, but is far beyond the game that you see in front of you at the moment. And after that breath is held, Nimbus looks down and says, "Can we get some help here? Can we get some help?" And two kind of big NIMBY guys like come over, like, yes, for
Hate
reasons. Yes. And they own that badge proudly. They're young and dumb. So two of them come over and start to check to see, if she has a pulse, see if she's breathing. There's an attempt at CPR, not really chest compressions, but like breaths. And very quickly, like, they look up and they look at all the rest of you and they shake their heads. And there's a bit of like a gasp and a concerned sort of sounds amongst the people in the auditorium. And what are you all doing while this happens?
Sobbing over Maddie's body.
Yeah.
Can I pause? I just, because I just saw your question, I am 100% willing to like assign a disadvantage when I want to for the thing that you're talking about. Absolutely. You're giving me the option to assign a disadvantage. Hell yes. I will take that. Okay. Sorry. Lady, what are you doing?
I'm shouting. I'm just like, what happened? What happened? Why is this happening?
Did anyone see? Did anyone see what happened? One of the big guys on the floor by her body saying.
He just collapsed.
Hazel takes out her phone and didn't, if I remember correctly, Maddie had sent a text or something like she wasn't feeling well right before. And I was like, did anyone else? I'm just seeing this now.
You all got that text in your group text.
Yeah. Starts just flashing around the group message text and freaking out that she didn't see it earlier.
Yeah.
No, there was the stage there. Everything was happening. I thought we were all watching. I didn't. She was just right there. Why wouldn't she just? I don't know. There was so much with the lights and the yelling and the feedback.
And as you say that, actually, the bright lights go off and the stage lights come back on, and you can see everything in much starker relief than you could when it was dark and the spotlights were surreally moving around the audience. And as you're saying this, the assistant director of Concours, who had recently given like the giant check, Evelyn Sanchez, comes to the front of the stage and goes, "All right, let's get everything in order. Can we have this woman move to the side where she can be attended to? We will have medics. We have medics who will come and examine her and see what can be done. And let's not crowd her. Let's not make this any more traumatic than it needs to be. Can you young men, can you please
move to the side? It's her corpse. We need an ambulance and we need police."
Right. We have medics who will attend, trained EMTs. And in fact, if you wish, you can call in order to have police arrive. That's fine. I just want her moved out.
We have to call for police to arrive? What? Shouldn't that be a given in this situation?
Look, I know that emotions are running high. I understand. You can call now, or I will call later.
Is there no
Jen,
right now?
Jen,
Later.
I walk up and punch him.
You walk up and do what?
Yeah, I walk up and punch him.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
Hunter? Okay. Before we get distracted by that real fast, Rose, who had been sort of like helped get her Maddie's body on the ground and like was sort of the first one to realize, like, has worked with animals, realized there wasn't a pulse, kind of realized it, and has been silently sort of standing in the back, tears silently streaming down her face. She takes off, she has like this little cardigan on that she wears with her like nice little like farm style dress thing. She takes it off and she just drapes it over Maddie in a respectful way to just sort of like shroud her.
And you hear the audience sort of vocally responding to that. There's more gasps, and you can hear some people crying in the background. Like, just a lot of general shock that like makes it real, right? And okay, so the sun has set, which means, lady, you are doing a night move rather than a day move. Okay, different forces are at work when the sun leaves the sky. So go ahead and roll. This is doing something risky, I would definitely say. On a 10 plus, you do what you intended. On a 7 to 9, you do it or hold steady, but there's a complication or a cost. On a 12 plus, you do what you intended to do or hold steady, and you get an extra benefit.
Which stat am I rolling with?
2 d6s.
Oh, it's just flat?
I believe so.
6, let's go.
Just
Hell
Just
yeah.
I think you can add something. I think you should be able to add something. Remind me your stats. What are you good at?
I have 0 vitality, 1 composure, 2 reason, 0 presence, and -1 sensitivity.
Okay. You have 0 vitality and you're going up to punch someone. So like this is like you're not as strong as you used to be, and you're not as strong as you think you are. You wouldn't have had anything to add to it, even if you had looked at your stats ahead of time.
I got an 8.
You got an 8?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna be able to connect, right?
That's good.
You're going to gain a condition, right? And the condition I think is going to be like, I want something around the lines of like crazy old lady, but I don't really like the word crazy. Like batty old lady.
Firecracker.
Firecracker. That's good. That's good. With the idea of like a little bit unstable. So people are going to treat you weird. You are able to connect. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it makes its point.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not looking to kill.
Yeah. There's like blood now coming down.
It's just a slap, but you didn't palm it. You were so angry you forgot to unball your fist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So Evelyn,
all of the rings you have just kind of.
There's like one imprint on Evelyn's cheek,
Yeah.
and there's like blood coming down Evelyn's nose, and she's just acting completely outraged. And the groundskeeper comes in, who just recently got the check, pulls her back, and says, "If everyone can just leave some space here, everyone go back to the gymnasium, go back to the regular, and just let people be here, all right, everyone." And like you see Nimbus is like complaining, like the show must go on. This is, my time is money, people. My time is money. But then like is like shushed. Like the groundskeeper turns around and in an incredibly powerful way that one would not expect from like an old decrepit person who hangs around in the wilderness alone all the time, shushes him, and he wanders away, and the rest of the crowd starts to wander as well. A couple of like looky-loos come up and are sort of peering, but like are then, pushed back by other people. And you are largely alone.
I would like kind of as not at the beginning, but kind of towards the end, as authorities are being called and all that is happening, I think Gwen would kind of remember some things that her granddaughter has said about capturing things on camera and like making sure that also it's a good way of taking notes. Absolutely in selfie mode instead of facing out like she wants. But I think that they would pull out their phone and try to at least something, either not for posterity, but if
photos of a crime scene, essentially,
yeah, just
cool.
videos so that it's.
I love that you're doing that in selfie mode. That's so
yes.
stupid.
So you have to hold the phone.
I love it. I love it so much.
That's great.
You can't see what you're filming, so half the time it's filming the ground.
Yeah.
No, I love that. That's so perfect.
And do you want to be looking specifically for something, or just generally gathering information that you can then look at later?
I think it's gonna be more of a general. I mean, she'll kind of pass it over where Maddie was sitting, and a quick sweep under the chair and stuff, just to. She doesn't know what's important right now. Everything and nothing, that kind of a. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
But not focusing on specific people or trying to catch a specific conversation or anything like that, because
that makes sense. I'm gonna have you roll a meddling move anyway, and it's a little bit more like a question of luck what you get, but that, and I'm not going to tell you much about the result. I just will know in the back of my mind what you picked up. And I feel like maybe we'll do composure as what you use. It's how calmly are you able to do that, and how much is it just going to be blurs of you moving too fast and weird pictures of the ground and yeah.
Okay, so I get 2 for that, which is very good because that makes it an 8 instead of a 6.
That is very good. All right. So I'm not going to tell you what the complication is or what the clue is because you're not looking for it yet, until you look at the video.
I'm making a note.
I think that because Rose is sort of off to the side a little bit, and she sees Gwen do this, realizes everyone else probably did this, and turns to Sylvie, because Sylvie was the one that like stepped up the last time we had a sort of like PR problem, basically, with like people recording us and posting it on the internet. And Rose is sort of like, this reminds her of that, and she turns to Sylvie. She goes, will there be video of this? Will people have taken video of this and put it out there?
Already on there. Things spread like wildfire on the internet.
Will there be a video of Ladi?
Maybe. Most likely.
And so what I'm trying to prompt is either that Rose can do this, but she doesn't know because she's the least tech savvy here, or that Sylvie can do this to use that occult move to maybe get ahead of video of Ladi punching the general manager.
Now, when you say get ahead of it, what do you, because there's a bunch of different ways that could go, right?
So it's been out for like a few minutes, so hopefully nothing has sparked virality yet. That would be difficult to unwind, but maybe that using the move would be able to like change the narrative enough so that like if it is rocketing to virality, it's got the right kind of narrative, or something along those lines. And again, Rose, super not her place, and if you want her to be the one to roll this because that's the most ridiculous, I'm fine with that. But I was trying to kind of maybe also give Sylvie the chance to do it, so it's a little bit more her venue in two ways.
I haven't seen Reeve since earlier. However, I could text my daughter and see if she can. She is also my social media manager, so perhaps she can get ahead of it. I mean, she's down in New Mexico, but I could try that, and I pull out my first edition iPhone, and I start the text, and I'm like, "Hi, Aoife, Mom here. Ladi punched a guy. Saw your ex."
I'm like over your shoulder and I tap it and I go, I says hello. Just want you to say person, not guy.
Oh, person? Okay, thank you. Ladi, I can't see from here, I don't have my glasses. Ladi punched and I backspace all the way back. Ladi punched a person, saw X and ignored. Kai says hello. Maddie died.
Love it.
Please watch
So good.
out for socials. LOL. Send.
Oh my god.
But you ended it with a
I'm so glad
right?
Sylvie's doing this and not me. It's so good.
Does Sylvie canonically think LOL is lots of love?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Amazing.
I love that so much.
Amazing. And was that all in one text or were there separate texts?
It's all in one text.
Okay.
Just a big, like, all in
So
one
then
text.
you
I
get-
did use periods, but I do know how to do like the shift enter. Like that was shown to me one time. So it's like several sentences, but one text bubble.
Nice.
Yeah.
You get an OMG. And you get looking, and then like ... for a little bit, right? And then
she's
eventually,
typing. Yeah.
yeah, and just for a bit, for a bit, and then eventually, she links you a video, and it's a TikTok of someone
course.
just being like breathlessly like, you have to, this is what I just saw, this is what just happened, this is crazy, this was wild, like talking about Maddie and talking about and then the video is of Lady punching Evelyn Sanchez.
It takes a minute to like load because I don't have the TikTok on my phone. So it goes to the browser, it goes to Safari on my phone, and then it plays. And I'm just like, it's on the clock application.
The clock application. And like for now, there's no, it's not clear how people are responding to it. It's new enough on there that it's not really clear.
Ooh,
Okay.
hold on a
So-
second. Hold on a
clock
second.
application, I don't mess with it. 'Cause it changes when it's daylight savings time automatically.
Yeah.
So just don't open it.
Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm gonna put on my glasses and like try to zoom in. I think I can report this. It might violate its TOS because it's violence. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
Darn,
does it have
I'm
to
gonna-
do with the Star Treks?
Nothing. No one was talking about Star Trek. Get your hearing aid fixed.
But
Isn't that what the
let-
TOS
Gwen-
thing is? The
this is-
original series. You can't.
Oh.
No. You can't
Sylvie's
pull
got
that
this
over
Gwen.
on me. I know that's what that is. My
It's
son
fan
watches
fiction.
it.
okay.
And fan
So
fiction.
I was sort of attempting to get the new occult move rolled.
Yeah.
So that way we can maybe get something good out of it.
I was going to suggest that Sylvie make our occult move, whatever this, what can we call this? The internet is your friend move.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
good.
I can attempt this.
And with
So,
sensitivity.
My daughter is also a witch, so this makes sense.
Yep.
Like
We're a
gonna
little bit
come in
rolling
through the phone,
on. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a little bit rolling on her behalf. So
Yeah.
roll with sensitivity.
for sure. I have to find what my sensitivity is. It's a 1. Oh, that's a lovely 11. I rolled a 6 on a 4.
There you go.
There we
So
go.
I think we decided on it. This is a hit, so you can control what the internet says about it. And what you get back from your daughter is, what do you want me to do with this?
I would like for it to not be there.
Done.
Yeah.
And you know your daughter well enough to know, like, she's
Mhm.
on it. She's gonna get it taken down.
Awesome.
I feel like
And- yeah.
Go on, go
Go
on.
ahead.
I want you to get, since I had you roll with sensitivity,
Mhm.
and since it's an occult move,
Yeah.
one of the sort of things that happens when this starts to circulate is you get like another message from your daughter saying someone else got to it first. And
That's an
it is-
audible gasp that everyone hears.
Yeah. Someone else
Okay.
got to it first. Do you want me to find out who?
Yes, please, winky face. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wink. I was supposed to. Yes, can you delete the wink?
No, Mom, but that's okay.
It's
And
my arthritis. It gets.
and in about 30 seconds later, you
Mhm.
get a text going, "Who is this Concord?"
Concord got to it first.
That's our company running our.
Yeah. I just text back, suspicious. Like,
If you say so, Mom.
LOL.
What is everyone else doing? Well, Sylvie is working her internet magic.
Openly weeping after I touched someone in the
Yeah, I was
face.
gonna say I'm probably trying to help a lady's hand. Probably, I have
Yeah.
because I have an abundance of tie-dyed handkerchiefs just kind of on my person at all times, like just on my body. So I'm taking some of those and trying to wrap a lady's hand.
Yeah, I think I've lost all composure. I'm just like, it's fine, it doesn't hurt that much, but I like when you dote on me.
Well, I thought that was, I would have done the same thing. You just got to it before me, but we also need you to stop moving your hand. So just calm down for a second. Let me work on this.
What is Gwen doing? Have you finished doing your video?
I think at this point has wrapped up the video, especially as people kind of disperse. What is the... So, we were all VIPs. Did anyone take Maddie's phone?
We were with a VIP. Maddie was the one marked as VIP, and so we could tag along.
Oh, I thought we had all like gone in on.
Do we remember how Maddie got VIP status?
It was oh, we're out of the like premium
That's
package.
weird.
So here, just take this VIP lanyard.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. You're still premium package.
That's right.
Can Hazel kind of bring that up right as she's like wrapping Lady's hand? She's like, how? Because you were mentioning the VIP and saying, did they do that for people behind us, or was that just Lady? Did anyone else notice if were they really out of them? Because that feels, I don't know, maybe I'm being paranoid, but that feels a little bit suspicious. That I don't know.
It's not very good planning, that's for sure.
It's not, and it's not. I don't know, just with Concorp, because I'm assuming Sylvie shared the text with all of us. So we all know that Concorp is doing something shady.
Yes. You did all hear me go suspicious. I said it out loud as I typed
Cool.
it. Yes.
And your phone is in giant font, so we can all read it from
Yes.
a distance away. So even if you wanted it secret, it's not.
But at least there's sorry, there's Pokemon here, but this entire screen is just the word suspicious.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yes, multiple lines, one word.
Yes.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear. I was sort of put out about the whole trouble to begin with. It was an out of character question. That was my problem.
Sorry, I derailed you totally.
You're fine. No, I was just
trying
wondering...
to break the fourth wall.
Looks directly at the camera. How many people are in this? And I'm sure it's just like the same chairs as everyone else. But how many other like VIP priority, like non-general people were sitting in our area?
Right. Well, there wasn't separate seating for the VIPs because most VIPs didn't go to the convocation as like an audience member, right? But you do have a sense of how many VIPs there were from having gone to the little sort of like tea gathering under the auspices of Maddie's different standing. And there were a couple of dozen. It was actually kind of like a sort of sad, sort of empty sort of place on some level. There were a couple that you recognize that you know from previous times or that are actual friends of yours. But there's clearly big names that were not there. Like there's obviously tiers of VIPness as well. Boy, that's VIPness.
Goodness.
So
I'm 12. But yeah, so there were a couple of dozen.
I just remembered us sitting like towards the front as part of that. And there was no like beer garden entrance to get to that point. It was just regular seats that we, okay. I don't know. Please go ahead.
Can Rose, while this is being talked about, look back over? The body hasn't been actually moved yet, right?
It's there.
Does Maddie have their VIP like badge and stuff still on them? I think that Rose will delicately go remove those VIP items, and then bring them back to the group and just like hand them to you guys, as if that might be helpful.
How about you make an meddling move?
Oh,
Yes.
And I think I would say using reason, unless you want to make a argument for something else.
Well, my reason's okay. I've got one. Okay, so. Ooh, that's a 10 plus 1, 11.
Ooh, nice. Okay. You notice when you're taking the lanyard, it's kind of gooey.
No.
There's
Just took a
something
bite.
like gooey on it.
Okay. Like sticky peanut butter kid hands gooey, or like the lanyard itself isn't like the substance of it itself?
Good question. Like something is on it that is like kind of gooey.
Rose is a grandma. She sniffs it.
What did I have you roll for this? Well, you got an 11. It smells medicinal.
Oh.
Glycoma medicine.
Was I heard
Well-
something?
I said, is it her candy glycoma medicine?
Oh yeah.
Is
Not
it?
that kind of medicinal.
Okay.
Okay.
Funny. That's so funny. If that had
She
been,
died
that would have
from
been
being
such a
too
great
high.
red herring.
Well,
Champions.
Sticky medicinal. Is it like, it's not like a distinctive scent, like a Vicks Vapor Rub thing, or like a cough medicine Robitussin thing, or something like that?
Well, what's your experience with medicinal stuff? What kind of medication have you come into contact
She's
with?
raised 3 kids. She's helped with several grandkids. She's done both, like, get medicine from the pharmacy, and also it is too late at night and we are out of cough medicine, so I'm going to do the home remedy that my grandma taught me type things. So I'd say a middling experience of both sides,
Yeah.
not like super experienced one side or the other per se, but yeah.
There's almost like when we have a scent, right? Like even a medicinal scent, it gives us an emotion or an
Yes.
image. Like it really, really is one of the senses that most attaches feeling to us. So that nurturing feeling that you associate with like having medication for children and for grandchildren, not there. You're not feeling like vapor rub or cough syrup or
Okay.
anything like that. You do kind of have a old person feel to it.
Which is something she's a little less like
Yeah.
clued into, because she's still working on a farm.
Yeah.
Not really hanging out in facilities or like communities, rather. Let's call them communities. That would potentially have those types of medicines around more to be more familiar to her. So I think she brings it over and she hands it to everybody and she goes, "There's something on the lanyard."
Hazel freaks out. Put those back. If we take them, it could seem like we did something to get them. We don't want people to think that we shouldn't touch the body. Put them back.
I have touched her body a lot.
But if we take something, isn't that like illegal? Take something
It is
from a body?
removing evidence, yes.
I don't think Maddie would have wanted us to respect authority.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Are we really
I
gonna
just don't
I
want
will
to implicate us. If
I'll
they think
open
we
up
do
my
this
tote
right
bag.
now?
Yeah, I open up my tote bag. Just stick it in there.
Okay.
It's gonna look more suspicious if we put it back.
What
now.
if they think we killed her to get her VIP badge? They could put
That's
that-
stupid.
I'm
Pretty
not
bad,
saying
though.
it's not, but
Just very judgmental. That's stupid. No.
Okay,
that's
but,
exactly
like,
why they think it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
When
Hazel,
do the
that's
cops
a good
ever come up
point.
with good theories? It's something to pin it on us. I'm just saying.
Why would they think that old ladies killed another old lady for her VIP badge when we have access to the VIP lounge through other VIPs that we know?
Okay, Sylvie, normally I would say that's a good point, but of anyone I know, if anyone's going to kill somebody, it would probably be you. I feel like you probably have, like, the talent for it. I'm not saying you have, but also if you
There's-
have, I don't need to know.
And there's video evidence of Lady punching someone. Well, there was. I guess there's not anymore. But, like, people saw that. You can't erase people's memories. People saw Lady punch someone. Just saying, be careful.
Now they
I'm
know
not
that actions have
suspicious.
consequences.
I mean, I want you to know, I support you
What are
punching
they
him. That
gonna
was the
do?
right
Put
call.
old ladies in
but-
prison just to die 5 years later? That's silly.
Fine. I said it. I said my piece. That's
You said
fine.
You did say your piece. All right. Let's take a vote then. Hide the VIP badge or leave the VIP badge? To hide it, please raise your hand.
Oh, no, to hide. No, I don't want to leave it. No, I don't want to raise my hand.
Wait,
Back
by
my
hiding,
hand.
do you
Hiding
mean
it.
taking?
Yes.
Yes!
Yeah.
Wasn't clear, right? I thought so. But
Yes.
that's what she meant.
Look, it's been a long night, okay?
I'm sorry, Hazel. Listen, it's all right. We can just chalk it up to maybe, to Rose if we get caught.
Okay.
She didn't know better. It's okay.
You do not have
She
to
was-
use it at this moment, but I do want to suggest, as we're learning the system, that this is one of the times that this reminds me of something that happened to Amanda Delacourt. Would be like a reasonable.
Oh,
it makes
yeah,
sense.
Yes,
right?
when she was falsely accused.
That,
actually does
and then
seem
we
like the
come up with
perfect time.
exactly.
Yeah, can I just so I can learn the system. Can I do that? How does that move work exactly?
Okay, so you have to provide the name of the gold crown mystery in question,
Oh
the
god.
problem or
Okay.
situation Amanda found herself in that is similar to what you are experiencing, and how Amanda eventually overcame the problem or resolved the situation. And then you get a 12 plus to a single relevant role, or can state a fact about the current situation that I must incorporate into the story.
Oh, I don't know that these VIP badges are going to be that relevant, but sure, yeah. So this reminds me of when what's the name of our Amanda Delacourt in Sasquatch Murders, when she was investigating the body and she took the notebook that the dead guy, you remember the dead guy had on him, because she wanted to see what he was writing about, and then she got her fingerprints on it, and it turns out that there were notes in there about a lottery ticket or something, and all of a sudden she's implicated in killing him to get at his lottery tickets. Did she know that that's what was going to happen? No, she did not. She was just trying to be a good investigative journalist and detective. But by touching anything and taking anything, all of a sudden the cops throw her in jail. Luckily, of course, she uses her wit and charm to get out of jail, but she didn't go to jail. I personally, jail is not part of my 5-year plan currently. And I'd like to avoid that, but if we think our wit and charm can overcome, that's fine. I'm just saying this kind of thing happens. The cops don't know what they're doing. And I just want to give us as little suspicious inclinations as possible. That's just my preference here.
So let me ask, do you want a 12 plus either on hiding the lanyard so that it will not be
Ooh.
found by the police, or
Okay.
on having a great cover story for having the lanyard so that you won't get in trouble with the police as you retain it?
I'd like to hide it real good. Because
Okay.
Hazel, I don't think it's believable that she'd have a good cover story.
Yeah,
She'd just
yeah.
hide it real good.
So in that mystery, right?
Yeah.
Amanda Delacourt, having realized that the journal was not actually the key piece of evidence, but discovering that there was a watch that really was the key piece of evidence, and having hid it so well that no one could find it, where did she hide it?
First thought that came into my mind was in her bra. So that's what
There
we're
you
going
go.
with.
Exactly. In
First
her
thing
bra.
I thought, if I want to hide something real good, that's the first thing I thought of. So and it's also a little granny bra. Maybe it's a little pointed and paddy. So we could hide something in our bras very
I'm not
easily.
putting this sticky lanyard in my titties.
I'll do it.
Yeah, why is it sticky?
Hazel will do that. That does not faze her at all.
All right.
Why is it
Can
sticky?
anybody identify the sticky, smelly thingy?
You
Yeah.
don't want to do it while we're standing around the body when the police come, though. Figure when we get back to our cabins. Here's your sticky lanyard.
Around
just like kind of covers you a little bit, so for decency.
Slips in there.
Around this time, the medics that Evelyn referred to arrive and begin to like take data from the body, like take the pulse, take the breathing, confirm that this is a deceased, and go to get a stretcher to take her in an ambulance to a hospital morgue. And they, we're so sorry for your loss. Is there any specific family member to contact or place to take her that you would like us to respect?
Well, Ladi is the president. Don't you have the directory and her emergency contact information? I was talking to you, Pablo.
I heard you say Maddie and not Laddie.
Oh, I said Ladi, sorry.
So, do I have her emergency contact?
I'm fine with that. That seems
Who's her
reasonable.
emergency contact?
I think, Maddie had been involved with a group of investigators at her facilitated living home. And I'm annoying myself that I can't remember the name of that group, but I will get the name of that group on the break.
That's fine.
And another member of that group is the one that you have in the contact.
So I look into my purse and I pull out a little booklet and I'm just like scrolling through it, and then I'm able to point out, and like they try to take it and I'm like, no, you can write down the information off. This contains information that's important to me. What if someone happens to one of these? You can write down the number. Today we will cause problems on purpose.
No.
Ladi just responding to this whole situation by getting aggressive.
Love it.
There's a lot of unresolved emotions that are just being taken out on whatever NPCs.
Nice.
This is not helping me.
Yeah, they are a little bit taken aback, and like you kind of see them like giving a little look to each other that like kind of almost says, "Oh yeah, we were warned about him," and they take the number, and they begin also to take valuables and bag them. So you get like a ring, a necklace, her phone, and they look up and go to. Is there anyone to whom we should say the contact information? We should call this person.
Yeah, they'll
Okay.
let you know.
All right. Wonderful. And they begin to get the body on the stretcher and wheel the body away. And you are left alone, so you think, in the auditorium.
Rose turns to the group, prompted by Ladi being like, I'm holding on to this because what if this happens to them? So Rose turns to the group and says, if I die, I know that Sierra's the one that drove me here. Don't contact Sierra. Sierra doesn't need that. Go to my second born child, whose name I'm forgetting. But you got him.
Clearly not the favorite child.
Well, that's the grandchild too. So, but Sophia's the mom. But like she's saying, just skip them entirely. Go to the second born. Don't bother them. That would be too
Go to
stressful.
the
They've
one
got
that
stuff
knows
on their
how to
plate.
handle situations, not babies. Like the responsible child. If I die, I want you to put me in one of these boats and then set me ablaze on the river.
Not to copy, but I'd do that to me too.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
What do you do as you leave the auditorium? Where do you go? Or is there anything else that you wish to do at the auditorium before you leave?
I had a character I want to end up with the mermaid statue. That's the room I want to be in.
Uh-huh.
I thought you meant just like walking away with it, and I was like, best of luck.
We've been over this. I'm not very buff.
I would like to just get a vibe on. So the calendar of events. Was there anything on the schedule for? Because I can't remember what time of day it is. I feel like it's late evening, late afternoon, early evening. Was there anything else planned for tonight by the con, or is it like, okay, welcome, we'll see you in the morning? Because I want to know if things are still on, if they're still happening.
There was a private reception for, and let me get my names, for Gloria and Glenn Hawthorne, who were the previous owners.
That's right, and that wasn't even mentioned.
Yeah, sort of like a passing the baton. It's written on the schedule. No real idea if it's going to happen, but there's a room in the main lodge that it's scheduled to be in, which is a small room toward the front of the building on the first floor.
And I think she's gonna try and keep an eye on her phone and just see if there's any statement, like an email, anything from the con addressing this situation, and might even go so far as to call up her granddaughter to just be like, hey, my alerts they're weird. I don't know if I'm getting the alerts for the things that I'm getting, and I don't want to miss things that are important, and you know about the spam. So can you
I thought I helped you with that?
You did, but then there was a button, and you know how there's not really buttons, but you touch the screen and then it goes to that
right.
dog site, and then so if you could just you can get into my email, right? Just call me if you see anything.
Call you if I see anything in your
not anything from the convention that I'm at, the MurderCon thing.
Call you if I see anything from MurderCon. Yes, absolutely. I'll do that. Yeah, no problem. You really should log out of your email and not have it on my phone eventually.
Right, but then I couldn't call you and have you help me
look at your email. But if I was able to teach you to,
that would be great.
Sure.
We'll do that. We can do it over the phone maybe when I'm back from my trip.
Oh yeah, no, we should do that in person. Yeah. Okay.
But call me. Don't text me, because I don't know if my text alerts are on either.
Okay, I'll call you. I'll call you, and you just you can't hear this person going but you can feel it.
Yeah, and as that's happening. Okay, bye. Grandma loves you.
Hello. Bye.
All right, that's all Gwen needed to do before we eat.
But I think you all are savvy enough with the way the world works also to know that it might be a while before you get that call, because if they're going to write something up, that's going to get run through multiple PR professionals before it gets put out in the world, right?
I mean, so some of these companies really don't seem to have thought
That's
of
true.
That's true.
Much.
Yeah,
that's true. Even ones run by billionaires don't always actually think well before they say stuff. But it would
does Concorp have sort of a charismatic sociopath idiot CEO? Because if not, then we might be okay.
Well, Concord does have a charismatic CEO.
Yes.
In fact.
I mean, no, but yes.
Yes. Who is often someone on social media who represents Concord, because they're really excited and interested at this point in having people join as employees or volunteers. There's a big sort of employee volunteer drive that's going on. So anybody in the murder mystery community is aware of volunteers. Is aware of Jessica
incredibly
Cannon.
bad vibes.
Yeah, Jessica Cannon, who's
okay, good.
Yeah, Jessica Cannon, who's not actually the CEO, but the VP.
As long as I didn't punch this person in the face, that's fine.
No, you didn't.
Good to check, though.
You punched the general manager of this con in the face. But
Don't get over it.
yeah, I love that we had so little violence in Monster Hearts, and in our game about old ladies,
Very
we have
good
violence
point,
in the
Jen.
second session. It's amazing.
Brought it upon themselves. I don't know what to tell you.
So it's possible that Jessica Cannon would like do something off the cuff, but her posts tend to be much more thought out. Like, it's very clear that there's like a PR strategy that this company has. They're very like tamped down and polished.
Mhm.
Right. So what do you do as you leave the auditorium?
I'm gonna go get my bag from my car, and I would like to. Did I get a dorm, or did I get a hotel?
I think all of us, except for Gwen, had said
I
we
think
were in
so.
dorms.
That's my recollection as well.
Okay. I think I've had enough MurderCon for today. It's 8 o'clock. It's time to go to bed. I'm joking. It's clearly time for wine. Let's go. We should go to the bar now.
There is in fact a bar.
Okay.
And you can either, it's not a permanent bar. You can go into town and go to a bar, which is like a very like seedy dive bar, or there's a place within the lodge that's been set up with alcohol. Or you can go drink in your cabins, whatever you want to do. And remember also your cozy activities are available for you as well.
Question. The private reception for Gloria and Glenn were happening in the hotel?
In the lodge.
In the lodge. Okay. And that's where the dorms are?
The dorms are on a different part of the campground.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we're going to go to break just after we determine where people are physically going to be when we get back from break. So let's go out OOC for a minute. Like, where do y'all want to go next? And we can just zip to the next day if you want, or where do you go that night?
I mean, Gwen wants to know more about this badge business, and we got her phone and stuff. Is that?
No,
They
we
bagged it up,
didn't.
and I didn't know what happened.
They bagged it up. They
Got
asked.
taken.
They asked if any of you were the people they should give the valuables to, and very quickly after you said no, that bag was out of your sight.
They took it. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna. Yeah, I just would like to investigate the badge a little bit more.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a quick question about Gloria and Glenn. Since they are the previous owners, are we kind of familiar with them?
Oh yes, you're regulars. Okay. They know you. You know them. You have very warm relationships with them.
Okay.
They're just very loving and kind people. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Rose will, in however like order of events situation happens, because like there was probably a bunch of time set aside to have this thing in the auditorium that didn't get to happen or has changed locations before that event. That event might be a little bit later, whatever, but Rose is going to try and like appear there and potentially be able to talk to Gloria and Glenn a little bit. But I think that would be a goal of some sort in things.
So Rose is going to go to the reception. Gwen and Hazel are going to work on learning more about the lanyard. And Sylvie, are you going to go to...
Sylvie's a little overwhelmed, but I think she knows how to use her laptop better than she does her phone. However, it is kind of suspicious that the Concordia social media was able to be so quick onto this, which means that they have a social media person on site just ready to do this. I would like to find this person.
Nice. Okay, so you're going to go to some private place where you can work with your laptop on finding that stuff. Awesome. And we'll find out from Ladi when we get back from break. And I would like to go have a snack as well. So let us take 10 minutes and get water and get food and get relaxed and pet our
Cats.
pets, our
A
caves,
baby.
and I
He
will
needs fed.
feed my dogs so they don't eat my toes.
Oh my goodness. All right, we'll see you all in 5-ish to 10-ish to 15-ish, depending on what everyone needs. We will be back shortly.
All right. Well,
Roll with it.
I'm excited to be back, and we have 2 folks who are going to go try to investigate more about the lanyard. We have Sylvie, who's going to do some internet searching on her laptop. We have Rose, who's going to go to the reception for the I forgot their name because I can't remember anything.
Gloria and Glenn is
The
what I've written down, but that
Yeah,
might be wrong.
the Hawthorns. Thank you.
Yeah.
Gloria and Glenn Hawthorne. And then, Lady, I don't think we got what you were going to do next. Like, what's your next move?
What is the name of the room that has the mermaid statue?
That's the recreation room downstairs. It's like the bottom floor of the like almost basement-y floor, but like because of the hill, there's also like
Okay.
a
My
door on the outside.
character has no reason to go there now that I'm thinking about it.
Well,
I'm gonna tag along
Let
with
me,
Hazel.
you know what? I'm going to ask you to make a meddling move without knowing what your meddling is.
Yeah. What set do I roll with?
Actually, I would roll it with sensitivity because this is sort of
-1,
like your
let's fucking
intuition.
go.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Is
bad
this,
intuition.
Is the recreation room in the lodge?
Yes, it's the basement of the lodge.
Okay. So I could walk with Ladi,
Totally.
and then we'd like maybe separate. But
5.
A 5.
I was gonna maybe see if I had an opportunity to help you, but
What's the fail condition here?
not sure that would help.
It doesn't tell you that there's really a fail condition. So what I'm going to say is instead you're left with sort of an unsettled feeling. You're left with this feeling of someone was watching us. And this feeling of like needing to be on alert for whoever it was that was watching you, but with no idea where they were, what kind of person they are, like anything about that, which is a distracting and uncomfortable feeling. All right. Well, let's start then with Rose and Lady.
Sorry. I think with that said, I'd probably just like turn to Rose and say, I don't think I want to be alone right now.
There. You want to come with me? I was gonna go say hi to Glenn and Gloria.
Yeah, I'll follow along.
The crowd has mostly adjourned to the lodge at this point. You do see people kind of clustered on your way toward the lodge, mostly on their phones, sort of talking excitedly about, sharing things on social media about what just happened. You also see people who are, sad and are feeling, some grief, even though they didn't know Maddie. This was Maddie's first time at the conference. Still, people's hearts are touched by what they saw. You see Concord staff and volunteers who seem pretty stressed out, trying to get things set up for like events within the lodge so that people have things to do that evening that would have been taken up by the convocation. And as you step in, Lady, you do notice that people are giving you some distance. There's
The corners of her mouth are just breaking into a little smile.
Yeah, you got a bubble. You've got a bubble now. And you get a few side glances. Most of them with like sort of an anxiety, maybe tinging toward disapproval, but a few of them are like not unhappy at all. And the two groups that you mostly get that from are some of the older regulars, right? Who weren't happy with Concour's presence to begin with, and some of the Concour volunteers. The reception is in the room just to the right when you come in the door. That room is just full of like very comfortable, overstuffed couches, a couple bean bags, big armchairs, none of which match. And this is a room that has the taxidermied animals all over it. Not the snake. The snake is in the rec room. But everything else, the taxidermied animals sort of decorate the walls. It has that like deep wooden smell and with the slight mustiness of like an old room full of old furniture. And you hear just like quiet sort of clinks of teacups on plates. You see that there's a little table with really the same spread sort of out, like the charcuterie kind of board and like the tea with, you know, various things to put into the tea. There's sugar, there's honey, there's tea being served like just straight up. There's multiple kinds of tea available. And people are just sort of quietly there, and the hawthorns are there. Dejected wouldn't be the right word, but just sort of just sad, just a little bit almost like they're numbed out to being at this moment of their lives that they don't feel good about being at. You also notice that Robin Masterson and Robin's assistant Thomas are in the room as well.
And I have retroactively, really quickly, swung through the kitchen and picked up some like little tea cakes or something that Rose had like was in part of the this needs to not get melted and destroyed venue of things that like she made like little tarts, little cream tarts with like fresh fruit on top, and she's just got like a couple trays of them and has a box of them, and bring that into the room as we go in. I've just picked that up to bring with us.
Totally, and you get greeted like very, you know, with a lot of kindness and concern from Susie, just like you okay, hun?
It's hard to say. Here,
Yeah.
have one. I just start offering
All
tarts
right.
to people.
Yes. Here, yeah. Here, you go ahead. Here's a plate for you to take, and and she like gets out some like lace napkins, and just like really fancy stuff for you from out of a closet to take into the reception. And yeah, there's room on the table for you to set that down, and people are appreciative and are taking the tarts, and somebody brings a couple of them over to the Hawthorns. And you see that Robin Masterson is also just like making sure that everybody gets something from the table and getting up for folks who seem like they don't have very good mobility. And Robin's assistant looks a little bit annoyed and is like, that's my job. Let me go get stuff for you. And like insists on getting something for Robin while Robin is getting something for someone else. And, you know, there's just general quiet chatter.
I think that Rose will sort of like take a teacup and stuff and sit down and just offer a sort of somber amount of like congratulations or something to the Hawthorns, because they got money that seems to be good, but they seem like they might not feel they got the good end of the deal. So
Gloria gives about a half smile, and is like, thanks, we're thinking of getting ourselves a good RV and just going around the country, you know, for a while, just place to place. That's the plan, at least. And, you know, Glenn pipes in. Glenn has this tendency, they're like one of those couples that is just like almost have melded into one person with just like different flavors. So Glenn's like, that's the plan, all right. Just tends to parrot each other.
well, you have my address if you want to ever come visit the farm and get some fresh milk, some fresh cream. I'll have a tea time set up for you as well. Just let me know.
Is there room for an RV?
Yeah, we'd probably crop the cows off that day, so just let us know so that they
Yes.
can't get into that part there. But yeah,
We'd love to visit. We're really sorry that we picked the wrong people to sell to, if you know what I mean. And Glenn's like, if you know what we mean.
no, I understand what you mean.
They seemed, I mean, like they were going to keep the place really nice and keep things going. We didn't want everything to go away. Like we've been doing this for as long as we can remember. We didn't want it all to go away. And they seemed like, they had a good package, but we didn't, this is not what we expected. In Glenn's, not what we expected. We didn't mean to let you down.
I mean, we haven't seen how it's shaken out yet. There's still time for it to land good.
Sorry.
The con dogs are like, no, we disagree.
The con dogs are opinionated about this. When you say you haven't seen how it's shaken out, you get a real flash of like hope, like that's something that they hadn't considered, right? They're so ensconced in the changes that they've seen leading up to the con and the first day of the con that they hadn't thought about the fact that this could just be a shaky start.
Well, and Rose can offer that perspective because she's seen 1 day's worth of this. They've seen weeks worth of this.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, I'm just your friend. I'm so sorry about your friend. That to have that. Yeah, it's just we're so sorry.
Sort of a job hazard at our age, I suppose. Just living this long.
Wife comment. Sorry, just a second.
I'm going to take this moment here to say, if I really like that the image that you used for Bunz's screen on the overlay.
Yeah.
I was like, should I do it? I shouldn't do it, but I have to have something.
I'm so sorry. My wife came in kind of out of breath, and I didn't remember that she had just gone a bike ride, so I thought she was really upset.
No, you gotta check in.
I'm so sorry, Evie, to interrupt you like that.
No, just saying maybe it'll be okay. And then that it's our job is to live at this age, and there's a hazard to that job of not sometimes. She turns, I think at this point, Rose turns to Ladi and goes, will they send you the coronary report information so that we know?
Maybe this is a good time. This is a good time to step out of character and say, Jen, we should decide who Maddie's closest kin is.
I think the person that you have a contact with, and I'm gonna look this up when someone has that conversation because Bunz came up with a great name for this group that was a mystery solving group at their facilitated living.
I remember this.
Yeah. So it's one of them that you have that contact information for, and you can kind of get the sense, Maddie being someone very ensconced in the murder mystery world too, that it's sort of if anything happens to me, I want somebody on this case who's going to act like a detective, right? As opposed to, I want you to call, my brother who's going to be upset, right? So let's say the name of the person is Randall Watterson.
Okay.
And you get the number for Randall Watterson, and that's the person who is sort of identified with her documents as the emergency contact, and probably would be contacted by the EMTs.
I flip through my little phone book, and I'm just this guy, Randy, he knows how to solve detectives. I mean, he knows how to crime. It's been a long day.
Lady, are you okay?
Send you a tart.
Gwen hands you a canned
yes,
wine
please.
to wash it down.
And she's just One vice at a time, please. I'm gonna have the desserts.
You're
Gwen, you're here
suspecting,
too.
you're suspecting something untoward happened here?
It's so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
She
I
wasn't
don't
sick or
know, but
Some of the girls think something weird was going on. It just seems prudent to follow up and be able to provide closure for the grieving process.
everyone's got their time, and I just don't think Maddie's was up.
I think the medics just assumed that it was, normal. They just took the body and didn't have anybody investigate, right? Well, I wish they'd done something different now that I'm hearing what you're saying.
I mean, it's a hazard of our age, and it was probably nothing. But some of the other girls, and like Rose kind of looks at Ladi and Gwen, if Gwen's there. Okay. Just kind of looks a little bit and like leans in to just kind of whisper low about this, but is gonna like Ladi, you can stop Rose if you don't want her to share about the lanyard, because that's what she's about to do. So Rose leans in and kind of whispers like, she got a VIP lanyard. And because it's a little bit different, they just wanted to make sure that everything was on the level. And that one weird detail wasn't something.
She was a VIP? I didn't see her on the list.
No, she wasn't.
How did she get a VIP lanyard?
Some sort of mix-up at the office. They ran out of premium passes.
So when you were at the VIP reception, that was a little off the records?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we are biased here, right? Like, we spent a lot of time thinking about this sort of thing. But it's weird, right? It's weird, all of the little things that have gone wrong here. I punched someone in the face and she had died. And just completely neutral stare.
Hey, that was, I think that might be hun. A little, it's, what would just, I just wish that we hadn't contracted for the extra services that Concord was providing, because they provided the on-site EMTs, and that, they sold that part of the package as, extra safety for but I wish we'd had the police involved if anyone thought that something was wrong. I'd like you both to roll meddling, and you can either separately roll meddle, or one of you can provide advantage. And I think in this case, the stat I would have you roll with might be presence, because this is about your relationship with the Hawthorns, and what they're sort of thinking about as you're talking to them and willing to say. Unless you can come up with something else that you want to use to roll.
I think that lady's a little flustered and is going to let Rose take the lead, so I'm going to give you the advantage.
I have a 0 in presence.
Me
but
too.
if you're going to let me take the lead, I might argue for composure, because Rose is keeping herself very composed in a sort of like
sense.
Comforting way, even though like it's kind of her friend that died, she's still providing comfort to others. So maybe I could get that instead of
Makes sense.
presence.
So here's how we're going to do this. Lady, first you're going to roll composure, just to see if you're composed enough to actually help rather than be a detriment, right? And then if you are 7 or above, Rose will get advantage. There might be a small consequence from 7 to 9, but not a huge one.
Okay, and that's a 7. Let's
That's
go.
a 7.
7. All right.
So
So I roll with advantage.
You roll with advantage.
I got a 6.
Oh no! Oh no!
Can I use one of the +1s? Can I use one of the +1s post-actively?
You sure get to.
Okay, I'll use one of the +1s. Okay, 7. Oh, man.
Gotta thank the chat. You gotta thank the chat.
Thank you so much, chat.
Yes. Okay. So there's going to be a complication, but you are going to get a clue here. As almost as one, Gloria and Glenn sort of look out into the reception and point to Robin Masterson, and go, "Oh, is she wearing the premium package lanyard and not the VIP one?" And Lady, because of your role, they say that like kind of to Rose, like they're a little like scared of you, and they said it because like they said something without like really like a little more impulsively because they've got some anxiety around like, yeah, we really don't want to be punched in the face, so we should probably
One punch lady, let's go.
And Rose, I think what you realize, the consequence that you realize as they give you this answer, is now they're involved. Like the game is afoot for them too. And on the one hand, you've got some people who are invested, which is great. And on the other hand, you know, that's not the peaceful and, you know, meaningful. They're going to be digging more into their sadness now.
Yeah. It's definitely not something Rose wanted for them. But yeah. Okay.
Do those feel okay as consequences?
Yes.
Yeah.
This feels good.
Okay. Yeah, so you look and you see that Robin Masterson is in fact wearing the yellow, I don't remember what colors I assigned last time, so I'm just assigning the new, the yellow lanyard of the premium package rather than the VIP.
That's a weird thing to mix up, is all Rose says.
And you get that echo, like Gloria says, sure is weird, and then Glenn says, sure is weird.
Okay. I because there's like a consequence to this scene, I feel like it'll be more exciting to like see that play out in future moments. I kind of feel like this might be the end of like, I kind of got like to talk to them a little bit like I wanted to, and so unless Ladi's got something else that they want to go over.
I punch her in the face. No, I think.
Yeah, I think sure might be is where we close this scene. And let's go next to Sylvie doing your internet research.
Sorry, I was sketching while listening to keep the attention span where it needs to be.
I get you.
Yeah. So Sylvie goes to her car and opens her trunk, and it's kind of a mess, her trunk. Like there may or may not be a whole skeleton in there, okay? but the skeleton of like something that died billions of years ago, not like a few million years
not
ago.
Your friend's skeleton.
Not a friend's skeleton. But my laptop bag is in there, and I'm gonna pull it out, close my trunk, and go inside. And so Sylvie has, because she goes back and forth a lot from her lodge in Maine to New Mexico, she doesn't bother with like getting internet like ever set up. Instead, she has like an internet stick from Verizon Wireless or AT&T or whatever, that she's probably the same stick she's had for like 10 years, that she just puts into like her USB port And you see this whole situation with like the ghost erasing the erasing of the reporting of the thing before even her kid could get to it. Reminds her of a time of when Amanda Delacourt in the Patreon only short story Ghostwriter, where an intern in social media stole her identity, and she had hired an internet forensic man to figure out who it was. And they figured it out because this account followed the person in charge of the social media, also followed all of the social media. So she wants to go and find the probably the Facebook page for this company, and see if there's like a meet the staff post on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Of Concord.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the name.
Nice. And so mark off one of the extra gold crown mystery moves. We had 3 extras, so mark that one off. Good
right.
use of it. Good use of it. All right, so you have a 12, and this sounds like a meddling move.
Or a theorize move.
We could do that because I'm not setting like difficulty levels based on the number of clues. We're kind of using meddling for the same thing.
Okay.
But yeah, we can use theorize for like intuition, right?
Yeah.
Or you can roll like with presence or with whatever to kind of intuitively get things as well. Do you want to do that, or do you want to use occult? Are you feeling like a ookie spooky?
I'm not using any sort of like magic or anything.
Okay.
I'm just meddling. Okay. Yeah.
All right, and this sounds like rolling with reason.
Yeah. Let me see what my reason's actually my highest. Yes, my reason is 2.
Yeah, and you don't have to roll. You get a 12 plus.
I do?
Yeah, because you used the
if it's golden
mysteries.
crown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I just like rolling dice. I got excited.
I know. I was all excited to have you roll too, which is why I told you to even. I was like, you don't need to. So
Okay.
yes. And thank you for catching that as well, Evie.
Yeah.
So okay, on a 12 plus, you're
Mhm.
gonna find a little bit more than you were looking for.
Okay.
First of all, you do find a meet the staff.
Mhm.
And you note that the language with which they're described is a little weird and off. Like the CEO, you know how when there's like a little blurb and then it's like da 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 da, Ms. Smith did da da da, and then Ms. Smith did da 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 da. It's our CEO did blah 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 blah. Our CEO did blah blah blah. Like they're constantly referred to by their titles. And by like that possessive of our CEO, our
never
director.
by name.
Yeah, you get the name with their picture, but that's the only time their name is mentioned.
What's the name of the picture?
The name of the picture is Jessica Cannon. As high as it goes is the VP.
Yeah.
There is no CEO who is listed anywhere on any of the sites that you go to. It's all Jessica Cannon.
Who is the VP? Okay.
Our VP is what she's called.
Our VP.
And like you get a lot of a sense of like, you know, join Concord. We're like a family. We're all about teamwork here. Like all of that sort of marketing around like, yeah, we're a community. Be part of the Concord community. And you see like there's like a part of the Facebook group for staff and volunteers, and it's all them talking about how much fun they had. You see that there's stuff for attendees, and there's a couple notable things that you see there. One is you see that you're able to look fast enough to see that people are posting negative stuff, especially right now about like what happened. Like, I can't believe they let this happen. Why didn't they call the police right away? And it's deleted almost immediately.
Yep.
Almost immediately. And you'll even get a chance like, why are mods deleting them? Gone. Right. And in staff, there are no complaints. In volunteers, there are no complaints, just none. To the point where it's like, well, they are clearly know this is being reviewed. Right? You get the impression that the mod is working much faster than a normal human mod would work. And this is where like you're getting a void clue, right? This is not a human intelligence that is working at this speed on the internet consistently all the time.
Okay.
Right. And you do get a line in the staff that sticks out to you, which is our CEO is always watching. And then the next line is out for us. But there's a weird break in the line. Right? As if to be able to say one thing while appearing to be saying the other.
I want to I'm gonna sit back. What does Jessica Cannon look like?
Jessica Cannon looks like someone who has had money her whole life. She looks like someone who she's a like a white woman in about her 50s. Looks like someone who goes to the salon to get her hair re-dyed every like week so that there are no roots showing. Not necessarily someone who like has had a lot of work done, but someone who has been able to use the best skincare products for her entire life. And there's an expression on her face. The clothing is clearly like from, you know, some very fancy boutique or something like that. And there's a look on her face that is like, tells you clearly that she has absolutely no clue that that looks any different than anybody else. This is just normal for her.
Okay, so I know women like this. But that's beside the point. With this same remembrance of this short story on the Patreon, I would like to go to tinypic.com, and then I would like to, because now I Googled reverse tinypic, and I would like to hold the click of the picture and drag it into tinypic to see if there are any matches. And I'm very proud of myself.
Yes. And you've gone beyond my own internet knowledge as a GM. tinypic, is it the same where it like finds other?
Yeah, but it's been around for like ever. Yeah.
Give me a sec. That's a great use.
It's very old. Like it's a very old reverse image search. Like it's been like I used it in the early 2000s, so that's probably why that's where Sylvie goes.
And this is interesting because this is not how this program usually works. But there appears to be, as you're using the internet and feeling much more fluent with it than you ever have before, that you're able to get it to do more of a facial recognition than an image recognition. And you find a picture of her, and it's a group picture. There's a group picture of people sort of standing around, like on risers, like almost like a choir. But they're wearing regular clothing, but have like silk sashes of different colors. And the website is Church of the Serpent.
Church of the Serpent.
And it's a lot of like sort of propaganda, right? About like, this is what the church believes. Isn't it wonderful? We're all about the circle of life and being able to protect yourself and warrant, like, just the metaphor of a snake just sort of used every which way in an incredibly cheesy. It's so cheesy. Like there's like a group called Slither In.
Yeah. As a occultist, as a pagan, is this group familiar to me? Like, have I ever heard of them within coven circles? Like, is this like something new, like newer?
Make an occult move roll.
All right, let's do this. All right, and that's with sensibility, right?
Yeah, sensitivity.
Cool. Right. So that is a 6.
Do you want to take one of the extra boons hanging around, or do you
No,
not?
I don't. I'm not gonna take it. I'm gonna fail.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is you're going to struggle to find anybody having information about this cult within the occult. Like,
and that's weird.
what you do get, it's weird because there's nothing that you get. However, and this is the first time we're going to do this, everybody, mark the crown of the void.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you
Consequences.
I love
Ooh.
you feel sort of pulled back into a moment of your life that you might associate with time that you've spent in the occult.
Yeah. Do I mark a certain one?
Yeah, I think you get to pick whichever one you want to mark, and then you share it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
The
just
first empty box.
The first empty box?
So I get a
For the
shadow
void.
of the garden.
Yeah.
Like, I just get that one. I don't pick it. Okay. Okay.
So tell us what comes to your mind. Yes, just Sylvie.
Yeah, so as I'm sitting there and hereafter during a cozy vignette. Okay, so I'm sitting in my car and I hear everything around me sort of quiets, except for my radio. It turns on and it's static at first, and then it brings me to CCR's song Bad Mood Rising. Like, and I'm suddenly in like, and I look up and I am in the parking lot of my bar in New Mexico, remembering a time when a nefarious organization tried to destroy it. And this all feels very similar. Feels like this is all nefarious. And I close my laptop. And I take out a jar of water. And I drink it. I close it. And I close my eyes. And the song stops. And I'm back in the campground parking lot instead.
Do you carry from that memory a sense of nostalgia, vulnerability, or both?
Vulnerability. It's when I felt at my weakest.
So that, like, memory of your weakness is stalking you for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderfully done. Thank you. That was great. Oh, our first crown, y'all. First crown. Okay. On that, let's move to Hazel and Gwen. You are investigating the lanyard. And I would say, Hazel, what is good? I might just make up. No, you know what? I'm going to have you do a meddling move with vitality, please.
Just to like investigate the lanyard in general?
No, I'm not going to tell you what it's for.
Okay. So you said a meddling move?
Yeah, we play a little bit fast and loose with the rules here.
That is okay. I love that. Do I add anything to that, or is that just
with vitality?
With vitality, sorry, you said that. But well, it's 0. So okay, great. That's an 8.
Yeah. It's a little like it's a little uncomfortable having the gooey stuff. Like it just feels a little you don't like you're very aware of it, like it's hard to just forget. It's just you're feeling irritated by it.
Okay. Gwen, do you want to come look at this goo lanyard situation with me?
I just need to know what it is. What
great.
would be so sticky? Why would you still wear it if it was sticky?
What would be? Hazel, having said sticky thing up in her titties right now, it's like, yeah, why would you keep something on that's sticky? Why would you voluntarily expose that to your skin for long periods of time? And I guess Hazel kind of motions Gwen behind a bush or something so she can take the lanyard out of her bra.
Definitely not sketchy. Yeah, here. You said it has smell. Like, let me smell it.
Yeah, wait, no, you can smell it, but I have a plan to figure out what it is. Do you have like pill bottles or any sort of little medicinal containers? Do you have one that you don't need now? That like you could go without, it's like nice to have, but you're not gonna die if I dump it.
Yeah, I got one of those like little travel Advil bottles.
Great. And Hazel takes it, dumps the Advil on the ground, and tries to scoop some of the goo off the lanyard or off of herself into this vial.
You can get it off the lanyard. You do notice though, like if you've ever had an ultrasound where they have the goo, and like sometimes they'll wipe it off, but it's not really.
I know that feeling.
Like, that's what you're feeling there. Yeah, me too. So that's what. But you were able to get goo in the Advil. It's not a ton. You're able to get a little bit.
I have to say, while Hazel is doing that, Gwen drops to her knees, immediately makes a pain sound, and is like trying to scoop the Advil into her purse. The birds.
That's a good thing. Just unmarked pills in your purse. Great idea.
No. I'll put them in the trash. I'm not gonna have dirt like ground Advil later. The birds shouldn't have the Advil. I don't think it's good for them. If rice isn't good for them, Advil probably isn't good for them either.
Well, thank God you're looking out for the birds, Gwen.
I'm gonna need you to help me up though. Okay, is that okay?
All right, and then Hazel will help Gwen up. Gwen, do you know? I forget these things. Do you know if there's like where the doctor is, or where like if someone's injured, is there like an on-site?
It's called a hospital. Yeah, I got you.
Well, but here, I don't want to like on the campgrounds. We don't have time to go to a hospital. Is there like a medic or someone?
There's gotta be, right? There was a couple years ago.
You would know that there were medics because Evelyn talked about there being.
Okay. Medics. Would we know? Can you tell us where they would be? Would we know?
Did we have like a little map that came with our entry?
It's like danger. If you fall, go here.
If you've come here for years, there's like a little like nursing station upstairs in the lodge. So like as you go into the lodge, there are stairs right on your left, and you can go up and go to like a hallway that's usually more like administrative places, and then there's a little bit of like an infirmary. There,
I think there's an infirmary just upstairs.
Campers have a way, like children at summer camp have a way of getting injured. So like during summer camp, there's a resident nurse, but right now there are medics provided by Concord.
Okay. So, all right, we're going to do is we're going to go find the medics. This is my medicine, and I've forgotten what it is. And we're going to see if someone who knows more about medicine can identify what it is. Okay? That's the plan. My medicine. Forgot what it is. Okay? All right. And Hazel's
Hazel.
Yeah.
Do you want like an actual like prescription pill? Because I got those too. You said medicine, so I just kind of.
No, we don't want anything on it. This is just I don't know what it is, but I brought it with me. It's important. My daughter keeps track of my medicine, something like that. And I forgot what it is, and maybe they can help us figure out what it is. Or act really sweet and sad.
Sweet and sad. I got you.
Sweet and sad. All right, we got it.
Got it.
Okay.
Locked in on this. I got my motivation.
Okay, we're gonna make our way over to the medic tent or whatever.
I want Hazel for you to roll meddling again. One more
Okay.
time with vitality. So with 0.
7.
You notice when you get to the top of the stairs that you're a little winded.
Oh God. Okay. Okay. This will help with the selling the story. Gwen, could you give me your arm? I'm not feeling so great.
Yeah, of course. All right, you need to sit down.
No, no time for sitting down. Sitting down. No time.
I mean,
Just
going to the infirmary. So I guess if there's any point, any place, it's gonna be the best one. Hey, is there a nurse around here, or a doctor type person, or someone with a stethoscope? Maybe?
help us! I need help with my pills.
You hear like some footsteps creaking on the inside of like the room on the left in the hallway, which is a pretty long room. And then, you know, a person sticks out their head, someone like in scrubs, and says, "Oh, right on in here, right on. I'm sorry, a couple of my colleagues are out right now, but I'm here. I can help."
Did you go to medical school?
Are you all right?
It's okay. It doesn't matter. You're here. Help.
Yeah.
help.
If
My
I was
friend
an
has-
MD, do you think I'd have this job? Of course I don't. Okay, come on in. And you seem like you need to sit down. Let me get you some. Are you diabetic?
Gwen will put out her hand. I'm so sorry. I worry about my friend, and you didn't deserve that. You're doing your best.
Let me get your vitals. And he brings over like like the cuff machine and like gets your temperature in your ear.
And Hazel pulls out just completely unnecessary little reading glasses that are really tiny. And goes, "What's your name, young man?" With a very strained old lady voice.
My name's Brian.
Oh, you're doing so good, sweetie. I bet your parents are so proud.
Thank
Look at you. I didn't feel a thing. You did the squeezy arm thing. Normally it makes me woozy. I didn't feel woozy this time. That was very good.
I feel like there's a role in this right now.
Okay, no.
Okay. Don't you think? I think this is a role.
Sure.
Right? I'm wondering if it's either like a meddling roll or a nighttime move. But yeah, I think you're doing something risky.
Meddling?
No, I think you're doing a night move.
Oh,
you're doing
night move.
something risky, right?
Right.
Like you could essentially blow your cover, and you're trying to charm this guy into giving you information.
This is
But the
very
other
true.
side would be you're doing something really, really mysterious and weird after
Mhm.
somebody died, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you would roll with presence, I think.
Presence? Okay. My presence is 1. So, oh God. Not good.
Do you want to use I think we have a reroll.
Well, I
Yeah,
also
we
can,
have some
with
advantage
this one,
rerolls.
I can tell you what the consequence would be, and
Okay.
then you can choose to back off if you
Sure.
want. But what's the roll?
It's a 4.
Okay. The consequence for a 4 is
Yeah.
that Brian would immediately go tell superiors, probably Evelyn.
Okay.
Right?
I like that.
So you can back down, which means that you won't keep trying to charm him,
Okay.
right? You notice it's just not working.
Okay.
There was something when you said like your parents must be proud
Feel like
that just changed his demeanor.
bad vibes. Okay.
Would she be allowed to use one of the 5 advantage rolls to
Yeah,
reroll
if you
one?
want to do an advantage roll, you absolutely can.
We have 5. I don't want to use them up.
You know what though?
Oh, we've got
We have
quite
so
a
Oh
many.
no!
Okay.
Do it.
This is Hazel being awkward.
This.
Oh shoot!
It is Hazel being
So
awkward.
if you roll an
That is
advantage,
very...
here's the deal: if you want to
No.
kill an advantage, you already failed. So,
I did.
Right. So I'm not going to let you do advantage.
Okay.
I'm gonna
That's
I'm
fair.
gonna cancel advantage out with disadvantage.
That is totally
And-
fair.
And yes, it's awkward right now. Brian is sort
Okay.
of like who.
Can I back off, but then continue the convert? Like, would
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
back up,
Backing
but
off doesn't
just
mean that you have to be quiet.
take
It
a
just
different
means
approach?
like
Okay.
yeah.
Hazel just shuts up She just lets the man do the vitals.
Gwen will
gonna
like
just
pat Hazel's arm, just like, you're doing great. I know those stairs were a lot. Ugh, it's just been such a day, and there's just been so much activity, and it's just so hard. And sometimes there's just something about not knowing what your pills are. I remember when my husband, rest his soul.
All right, what is it that you need me to do?
I have a bunch of pills. My daughter usually keeps track of them for me when I'm at home, and she forgot to label this one, and I was wondering if you could help me identify what it is, because it could be a really strong steroid, or it could be my face cream. I've completely forgotten.
All right. Ma'am, did you know that your blood pressure was low? Are you feeling all right?
It's fine. I really just would like to know about the cream, and then I can then I can go. Yeah.
All right. Just maybe sit there for a little while. Just let's
Gwen's gonna pat your arm again.
If you could, ma'am, it's all right. You don't have to. If you could maybe keep an eye on your friend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course.
All right.
Anything to be helpful. I'll just. You do what you need to do, dear.
Wonderful. I'll see what I can do. And he goes back into, there's like a little, like a nursing sort of office that's within this room, right? That's sort of, there's no exit to the hallway. And there is like a locked cabinet with medications. And he starts to go into the cabinet, and you can just sort of hear clattering around as he's looking around for things. What do you do in the meantime, if anything?
Gwen is going to do a very complicated set of hand motions. Kind of a...
What is it?
I don't know. What should we do? Like... he's back there with the stuff. Like, what else? Are we just waiting here?
Yeah, we just want to find what it is and then go. Oh, we're here for.
But are you actually feeling okay? Because with the low blood pressure, like...
It's not... What matters right now is finding out what happened to Maddie.
Hazel, look at me. She's got, like, hands on either side of your face. Like, you matter. Maddie is dead, and I can't lose anyone else, okay?
Oh, no.
You notice really she's pretty clammy.
She's gonna put a little, like, wrist against your forehead.
I know Maddie is dead, but we need to... If something happened to her that was malicious, it's more important that we find out what that is so it doesn't happen to other people.
Yeah, no, I get that, but also, like, anything could happen to any one of us that isn't malicious that we should also take care of.
In life, that's okay. I'm okay. I feel not great. I'll lie down. I'll have a beer. I'll be fine.
Okay, that sounds plausibly to be a medical solution. I was a TV anchor.
Yeah, no, that
really
helps. That helps with low blood pressure. Is alcohol. That's great combination.
Yeah.
And actually,
go get
like
dinner after this.
As Brian's walking back and it like overhears a little bit, so I wouldn't recommend that, ma'am. You have you overused your nitroglycerin?
My is a what?
Isn't that a bomb?
For your blood pressure, your nitroglycerin. For the high blood pressure. If you overuse it, it brings it down. You just don't drink while you're doing that. And you just need a tiny bit, just a little bit.
Tiny little bit, got it.
Tiny little bit.
Tiny smallest bit.
Tiny bit.
I got it.
Tiny bit.
I got it. Well,
did you
again?
Yeah, if you might want to soak or wash whatever area you used it on. If it just needs.
Is that what the cream is? Is it the hypoglycerin?
Yes, that's the nitroglycerin. The nitroglycerin.
Okay.
Yes.
Nitroglycerin.
Yes.
Right.
Maybe wash that off and spend a little time resting.
Now,
and don't have a beer.
Do you have like a pamphlet on this nitroglycerin? I have a hard time remembering.
No,
like a pamphlet on the side effects?
No, we're not really prescribers in that sense, so we don't have But you can just
I'll
look it up
Google
on
it.
the
That's
internet.
all
Yeah,
right.
just Google it. You didn't
do
hear
that.
that from me, everybody gets angry about
No,
people Googling
no.
it, so you didn't hear that from me, but you can just Google
You
it.
wouldn't.
You've been so helpful.
All right.
Do you have like a permanent marker we could just like write it on the thing so
Oh,
she
yes.
doesn't
And
confuse it with her?
yeah, he goes and pulls that out of a drawer and brings some tape to put around it and permanent marker to write around it.
And now you're sure that's what it is? Because I get I take a lot of medications, and you're sure it's the nisoglycerin?
Positive, but you really shouldn't let medication be outside of its normal labels.
You are correct. I am so sorry. I will thank you for your help. You've been very helpful. That was the only one that was mislabeled. So
and
we are.
he'll lean over to Gwen and be like, "Is somebody helping her keep track of her medications?"
Yeah, this is one-time thing. We got it now.
All right.
Just
Are
none of us. knew.
you for the length of her stay here overseeing her medications?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
I'll help her.
Keep doing that. Yeah. No, I think we have a little bit of like struggles with concentration and memory here, and that can be facilitated with some teamwork.
I did the same thing for my late husband. Rest his soul.
Exactly.
I mean, he
Sorry
didn't
for
die
your
because I was
loss.
overseeing his medication. I need you to understand that, okay?
That's a really good. I didn't take it that way, but
Okay,
I could
good.
have.
Good.
All right. Well, definitely do not have a beer, but go have dinner. Careful with her down the stairs.
Yeah, we'll get you a little margarita. We'll perk you right up.
Don't. Maybe a Shirley Temple. Try a Shirley Temple.
Okay.
And Hazel's gonna give a little wink, as an awkward wink, whatever. A wink. She's like, "We did it. We're good." And is gonna very heavily lean on Gwen and make her way back down the stairs.
All right. As you come down your stairs, Sylvie, do you stay in your car or do you go anywhere? Because I think Lady, Rose, Gwen, and Hazel, at the very least, you convene in the hallway. And Sylvie, are you still in the car? That's fine if you are. That's you.
Sorry, I was zoned out.
No, it's
what
okay.
did
And I
you
kept
say?
calling you by your character name.
Okay, that's why. What's happening?
Do you stay in your car, or do you come? The four of them are going to be convening in the hallway. Are you going to stay
Oh
in
yeah,
your car, or are you going to be
I'm
coming
definitely
back in?
gonna come out with a very sullen, shaken expression.
Yeah.
Which is, for any amount of actual emotion to show in Sylvie's face, it's not that she doesn't have them, she just doesn't know how to show them. But like, just even like a little twinge in her expression is alarming, I'm assuming, to some people.
Yeah, Sylvie looks different. And you convene in the hallway. There are a lot of people, and you have a lot of information to share with each other. The place that you could go, where no one seems to be occupying right now, is the rec room downstairs.
Sure.
You don't have to. You can go somewhere else.
No, let's fucking go.
No, let's do
That
that.
sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that.
And the first thing that all of you notice, because it's very obvious when you go to the rec room, is that that mermaid statue seems to be missing. Yeah, I'm watching.
Rose?
I'm watching the time.
Can you
Rose just shakes her
believe
head.
they changed everything about this place?
Where's the heart? Sylvia, are you okay? You're looking a little peaked, like.
No, I'm not okay.
Is your blood pressure also off? We got a thing going around here.
I've never had bad blood pressure.
I mean, you don't till you do.
Yeah, no time like the present.
My
have
blood
bad blood
pressure.
pressure.
I have excellent cardiovascular health. I checked before coming here. I did this thing where I emailed that group picture of Jessica to myself so that I could open it up in the email. I do know, like, I worked at the school. I know how to do some email things. Like, we got to check for the plagiarisms. And I sort of pull it up and I show my phone and I put it in everyone's face and I go, this is the VP of Jessica Cannon seems to be involved in a cult.
Like
Blank stares.
A cult of the serpent. And when I attempted to access information on said cult, I hallucinated.
what
I
now?
hallucinated
Doing
without-
other things at the time of looking this up? Or there's a... Sure.
I do not do other things. And I wonder if Hazel,
Yeah.
not today, tonight, but could you perhaps send me your mushroom friend?
Marvin?
Yes.
That's his name, right? I think so.
Marvin.
Melvin. Sorry, Melvin.
Melvin.
Yes.
Melvin's the one who showed you the phone. It was Melvin.
Mm.
I remember
Right.
because I made sure that Melvin made an appearance. Yeah.
Yeah.
And remember, like, one of you was like super sweet, and he was like genuinely touched. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, what do you need what do you need from Melvin? You just want to meet him?
I need him to acquire a certain mushroom.
Melvin can do that. Yeah, absolutely. First thing tomorrow. Go meet my mushroom guy.
I would like to meet. I feel very vulnerable right now. And I do not like the direction that, as the children say, the vibes are.
How can we support you? What would help you feel better?
Besides mushrooms.
But well, yeah. But Melvin's got the mushrooms covered. Hazel's got Melvin covered.
You want a hug?
No.
Okay.
Do you want wine in a can?
Don't. What did you say? I'm sorry, dear.
Do you want wine in a can?
Is it sparkling wine in a can?
Is there any other?
Yes, I actually wouldn't mind one of those. I've been far too sober at this event. However, I do not like what's seems to be afoot here.
Honey, can you close the door?
I
Gwen
do not think
hands
that
you
this is natural.
a regrettably not super chilled because it's in her purse. Can of I can't believe it's not champagne.
Mm-hmm. I crack it open, I sip it, and I look at it, I look at her. And then I sip it again.
As that's happening, you all start to hear like sort of a creaking or crackling sound. And it's coming from the direction of that. Yes, you did get introduced. The mushroom man was walking with you to the auditorium, was like the kind of sweet guy. And you look over to the direction of the case where the snake, the taxidermy snake is. And standing there is a woman covered with tattoos, who Bunz described to us last week.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, you should feel vulnerable. You should all feel vulnerable. You are, now that you know a little of what you know, I think you're all in a lot of danger.
This woman just appear? Or
I'm gonna look at Ladi and expect her to punch someone.
Crack my knuckles.
You can try. You can go ahead and come at me, old lady.
I think she's made of wood. I wouldn't do that.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Oh yeah, she looks. Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks, let's say, very solid.
We go. Lady goes. Do we know you're from somewhere?
I've been hanging around.
That doesn't answer the question, but sure.
are you a VIP?
mean to be arrogant, but I'm probably the VIP here in the lodge.
Do you have a badge?
I don't need one. I live here. I
Suspicious.
shouldn't.
Sylvie's just eyes squints.
Yeah.
Like she's not even gonna say it. She's just eyes squints.
It's too much to explain right now, and there are too many things to worry about that are more important, but I should only be wandering around here and involved when the very land that we are on, the place that we are, is in some kind of danger. And I'm being called upon to help protect it, and you are all stumbling right into that danger.
You have a lot to catch us up on. Maybe we should go somewhere private.
We're private right now.
Are the doors closed? Are the windows shuttered?
They don't need to be. And she like taps on with her thumb on the pedestal and goes tap tap tap. We got protection.
What are you?
Something that you wouldn't understand.
That might be incorrect. And like I think like at that time, I think Reeve like jumps on my shoulder because he's just this little cat she that's just been hanging out and we haven't seen him in a while. I have a guardian spirit. Like
And I think like
Yeah.
she intuits what she sees there and goes, I'm a little like that, but like a little cooler. No offense.
understandable.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you a furry?
No, kind of the opposite, really.
A fairy.
Okay.
No, it just I'm made of wood.
A triad.
Yeah, you may have seen me on the wall earlier. She shows one of the distinctive tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Tap, tap, tap.
Oh.
And you hear tap, tap, tap when she taps her shoulder, not like
Yeah.
flesh is being tapped.
You're a dryad and a gargoyle.
Well, more a gargoyle. I don't know about the dryad stuff. They kind of have a different, attitude. But
They do. They are
yeah,
not as nice.
this is my land. This is my family land, and I'm here to protect it. My family land. Yeah. Do you have any idea what happened to your companion?
Do you have any idea what happened to her?
No, only that it's mysterious.
Oh, well, we did just find that she had she looks down at her palm where she scribbled the term nitroglycerin on her neck. Apparently lots of it is bad.
It's on the lanyard.
You don't look like you know about
I
it.
don't know anything about that.
Well, it was on the lanyard. That's what Gwen and I went to go do.
Which was on her neck.
Oh.
And I was told I got a little bit on my boobs when I hit it, and I was told to like wipe it off and that too much is bad. So I don't know how long Maddie had it around her neck, but
Did
that
you
could
wipe
be
it off?
something.
You wipe it off?
Yeah, I can get my shirt, it's fine.
Rose goes and pulls a handkerchief out, finds some water, dumps it out of a vase, and just starts rubbing into your boobs. And she's like, look, Calvin was on this when he was sick. This is serious medicine. This can't just be on you like this.
I think you need to lift. She did it underneath. Gravity might have.
Points for not spitting on the handkerchief and just doing that instead.
Yeah, Hazel did not take it. Hazel in general doesn't take medical, like she takes any medical advice as like a dig at her being old or something, so she kind of ignores it all whole. So yeah, that's you're getting off a decent chunk of the stuff when you're wiping.
Lady
because
turns away
you really
from
try.
Lady turns away from Hazel's shiny tits and blushes a little bit. And turns to her gargoyle friends and says, What should we call you?
Maisie's my name.
Sorry, what was that?
Maisie. Nice to meet you all.
We all do names, presumably.
Yeah. We all
And
all do information.
And goes, okay, we don't know what's going on, but it sounds like there's a lot you know that we don't.
I think.
Also, there's 5 minutes left of session, so like.
Yeah, no. I got you. I see that.
I think Rose kind of like has a concerned look on her face, looks up at the group and goes, Rebecca? Was it Rebecca or Robin? Mattinson. Robin Matterson was supposed to probably have that lanyard. So somebody put a bunch of nitroglycerin on a lanyard that was supposed to go to Robin Matterson, and it ended up switched. Because we found out earlier tonight that they didn't have their VIP badge set up. They had a Premium Plus one instead.
And the main use of this stuff is not in medicine, right? It's in exploding.
Yeah, but like...
No, it's in medicine. It keeps your blood pressure down.
No, I got it, but there's also the other part, which is that you can use it to make stuff explode.
And Rose, I think you would know, having been in that sort of caring, that it is dangerous to overuse it. It can cause people to pass out. You've never heard of anyone full on dying. And by the way, for the stream, I'm not a medical doctor. This is not medical advice. This is fiction. But you've never heard of anyone actually dying from contact with nitroglycerin, though it can lower blood pressure enough to pass out.
At least not anybody who doesn't like have a pre-existing problem,
right.
type thing, which presumably Maddie didn't. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
not
sure.
great for people who aren't like prescribed it for reasons. I would imagine.
I think, it would be helpful to determine whether or not she had a pre-existing condition and this was a horrible accident and a mystery of a very different sort than you thought you were having. It's also worth being concerned that you all might be targets. I think we're dealing with a group that doesn't want to be known about. And here's what I can suggest that I can help with. I'm a pretty good spy. So anywhere you want me to be, with nobody knowing that I'm there, you just tell me and I'll go. And Jen will still make a roll, but it'll be a roll with advantage.
We just all just taking everybody's pulse here. We're all just accepting the magical wooden creature, like,
I mean, it
that's
tracks.
No,
I don't know anything about you. Do you would you turn into a gremlin at midnight? Like, what are the can you go places? Like, I feel like we should get our facts in order here. Are we just all accepting this? Like, I feel
this is probably one of those ancestral passed down things of like, this is their land from way back in the day, and this is like the shaman sort of like birthright situation, and so they take care of this place, and it's fine.
I thought she literally just said it was like a
made it
furry
more
but
confusing.
for a tree. That
tells us everything we need to know.
She looks so amused by all of this that it's clear that she's getting farther and farther away from being willing to explain anything to you. But she looks at everybody and she kind of laughs and she goes, a lot of the time when there aren't any campers here, I just sit around and I read all the books that get left here. And she sort of points to this like shelf of used books. And I gotta say, this is exactly the kind of thing that I would read in the Amanda Delacourt. and to quote Amanda Delacourt's favorite detective, I think the game is afoot. And that's where we'll stop.
Yeah!
I said the title!
You
Look
did
at that!
it!
Yes.
You said the thing in the thing.
Yeah. Bunz, if you're watching, I'm doing Maisie good justice.
Yes.
But I'm open to tips. And sending love for you as well. So let's just really quickly close up, say your name and where people can find you. And maybe one thing about today that you found, one thing you found an intriguing clue or a fun moment.
Thank you.
I liked my character just obviously having a crush on Hazel. I liked just those moments of being like, let me just act out this awkward interaction with an incredibly awkward person.
It's very good.
Now, is there anywhere, what's your name and where can people find it?
Oh yeah, Pablo at tender_ideas. Got some poetry in the works. There's gonna be some new stuff on there sooner than later.
Nice. All right, who's next?
I'll go. I am Ray. I work in the board game industry professionally, and I only play TTRPG streams that Jen DMs because they're very fun, and they're like the only thing that brings me online for this kind of thing anymore. You can find me at I guess _Raybird_ on Twitter if that site still exists for the foreseeable future. But you can also find me on Check Games Edition. I do all their streaming and media stuff over there. In terms of favorite moment this session was when Lady just punched someone.
Yeah.
Love
Outright punch.
Love good chaos. Go with your gut. Favorite thing. Punching authority is always a good solution in my book. So that was my favorite moment of the session.
I should have said like respect your elders or something.
Yes.
I think it went without saying.
Yeah. We'll play the tape back and it'll be on there. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, who's next?
I'll go next because I want to add on to that. So I'm Evie. You can find me at Evie Story places, basically anywhere. That there's that, and I also favorite moment is kind of the way Lady was just handling their grief with violence, just aggression. That was something I rather appreciated. But I also liked that we accidentally turned the previous owners into assistant sleuths, maybe, or something. So we're gonna get a whole team together here, it looks like. So that'll be fun.
Hey everyone, I'm Val, or Valdrance, or Rosy on the internet. Right now, on my own space, we just had a finale for the summer, so there's nothing going on until September, which I am now looking for storytellers because I'm doing my Extra Life event early this year so that I can get it over with before I have a wedding. But that is going on the first week of September. I'm looking for 9 storytellers to tell 9 games to help raise money for local Children's Miracle Network hospitals. I posted the application form in the Looking for Players game for Sword and Key. So if you're interested, look there. Otherwise, on Fridays, I run a game of Ballad of Conjurers over at Girls Run These Worlds. There is an angel that has decided that I don't want people to have children anymore because I'm a little bitch, and it's not as serious as you would think it is because my players are wonderful. But yeah, that's what I do. That's where I am. Just come and find me.
Awesome. I'm Jen, and you currently can't find me anywhere on social media, and I love that. My wife is trying to lure me onto Instagram, where I might hang out and talk about like baking and Judaism and probably not role playing, because I'm talked out with social media TTRPG spaces. But you can see me also every other Tuesday on Graham Cracker's channel in a D&D game where I play a character who has an interesting link to a clue in this game. And then in 2 weeks I'll be back here, and I'll pass it over to Eva.
Hi, I'm Eva. You can find me on Twitter at the Eva Serrate. I had the joy of playing Gwen tonight, and I think one of my favorite moments was Sylvie hitting the first crown, and
Yes.
yeah, that was very good.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that was scary for me. I loved it.
That's it. Yeah,
My brain is. Whew.
As a group, we will reconvene here in 2 weeks on the 16th at the same time. We, Sword and Key, are expanding our social media postings. We've been in a lot of places, but we haven't been posting in a lot of places, so keep your eye out there. This week we don't have anything on Thursday. Saturday, we, I believe, have a Sword and Tea game discussion with Jason Cordova from the Gauntlet at 10 a.m. Pacific, and at 3 p.m. Pacific, we will be doing a player character, like one-on-one with the GM character development session for our usual Saturday game. So that will be very good. That's it for me for right now. I believe we're going to raid Neon Lights roleplay.
Can I say it really quick? Because I forgot to say my favorite thing.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm going to say two. And one is just the technology use was constantly hilarious and also so relatable. 100%. I have experienced every single one of those things with a family member. But the other is just like being back with all of you. Like, I was so sad to have the gap that I had, and I think I told you on the break, like I was so nervous to come back that I was like dreaming about this game last night. And then the moment I got on the screen with all of you, I just like, my heart like just relaxed and got happy, and that was my other favorite part. So, sorry, now Raid. I just had to say it.
Take care of yourselves, everyone. Have good nights, and we will see you later.
Yay!